And when you're doing displays for people, you want to keep it tidy, not real world stuff. And you don't want your dog biting for the sake of biting. There's a reason they do it. Then you get other litters that don't show you very much at all at that age, and you just make a gut feel. Litter of Ellie, one of Ellie's litter. She had a litter at one stage. I kept a little bitch that I like, real nice, soft working little thing. She got a cow kicked her or jumped on her or something, and she broke her leg. So I couldn't afford to have it fixed. So what happens, happens. Her sister went to a bloke to work sheep. She backed the bar because she was sheep orientated. So it's just a matter of working through and knowing what you got orders for, and making decisions at the time. Collies, I tend to take the ones with a bit more feral in them, a bit more want to work. Kelpies, I take the ones that are a bit more people-minded, because in behind Kelpies is more work, so you want them a bit more focused on you to be able to manage them. Where Collies, there's not enough work, so you want them more work-minded, so you're putting work in them all the time. So,
she just won't take her eyes off those sheep, eh?
No. And you'll be out mustering and she'll be out there doing her own thing, independent. They don't need you. Like where I can have another one in here who'd be laying at my foot, wouldn't care. So that's just, it depends on how they're made up, what they're for. Her father was really independent, you just drop him. Sold him to a bloke down at Armidale. He took him mustering 2 days after he got him on cattle. And he said, I left him with 70 head of cattle on a dam for 3 hours. He just lay down there and held him. Come back with the other cattle, picked them up and off we went. He was wrapped. He didn't need people.
How do the dogs go when they move on like that though? Like?
They're right. Might take them a week or two to get over it, and then they go all right, eh? Depends on, as long as I've done my job right. So what I mean by that is if I've broken a dog in, or educated a dog, and left natural there, they'll work naturally. If I've worked on a dog and changed natural and made them pretty and made them arc and done a lot of other stuff to make them look pretty in a saleable article, but I've taken a lot of natural out, not taken it out, I'll always go back to natural. So you're selling a dog that's a man-made dog, then you have trouble because they go to someone that's expecting the man-made article, not the natural article. So if I'm selling a dog, I want to break them in as natural and as free as possible, so then they go off and that is what they are. And that's what they'll do for anyone. Where if you've got a man-made article, it's me you're buying, not the dog. And then in 12 months' time, you say, oh, that dog's nothing like what he was when I had him. Right, so that's where you get into trouble. So if they move on and they're a natural article, all you've got is that mind, like the mind I told you about at the start when you pup classing. You've got the mind, they're people orientated, they take pressure. Like I'll roll them over and I'll do different things to see where they take pressure and stuff. They can cope. Hey, they're telling you that that's what they can do. They're naturally what they are. But if you've got something that you've made and they're not naturally that way, well then you can get into trouble big time. And I feel I don't do it anymore. I used to try and make dogs. I don't. They are what they are, and you manage them and develop them for that. If they're not what you want, well, you move them on. You sell them or move them on. And that's pretty simple. And a lot better for it. You just acceptance and growth. And it's different to living with just this one dog who's going to be my pet forever and ever. You make do and you change them and you make dogs out of them. I've grown through that. Now I want to move on and have a better article.
Yeah, but I still think today, even with your own dogs as pets too, if they have a natural instinct, let's face it, if there's something that happens, they still go back to natural instinct anyway. And as good as you can train them, when it does happen, you can see it come out. So I still think where you have animals that have it, you still want to be able to develop it even in suburbia, let them have a run and enjoy it because it's enjoyment for them too.
Yeah.
You know, it's like even doing agility. I have done a bit of agility with Poco, and the best part of that one was one-on-one. It goes back to who's training who, you know. and then you've got to, you sort of sit and think about things. You think, well, shit, you know, there are ways and means of doing things and the way the dog reacts, and you've got to be able to pick up on that.
Yeah.
So it's still nice to let the dog have a natural instinct, and there are some that don't. They're just, you're right, some that just will cruise and just, that's how they'll be. They'll just be cruisy,
Yeah.
lay down, won't do anything, and be just quite happy to be at your feet and not do anything at all.
And I've had, in some of the places I've trained, I trained at Eaton's Hill for a while, and Albany Creek's up there. And I had a lot of agility dogs come in. And just being able to drop the reins and let them think for themselves actually helps them to grow, helps them to cope, and because this is driven by calmness and by position and by self-control or self-regulation on the dog, where agility is driven by highness and fun and excitement and food or whatever drives that, right? So they're two different drivers, and for me to put a dog together, I want them to be able to self-manage. For agility, you don't want them self-managing, you want them just to go high and to manage that highness to create a fast run. There is self-managing in discipline as they stop at this article and they do things like that. But it's more of a man-made created one than this is. I can man-make a dog for this, and I've done it with some dogs. But when the pressure comes on or when something happens, they go back to natural, and you've made it, you've got nothing. You've virtually got nothing, and that doesn't get you anywhere. But it helps a dog to cope with that high-driven world, a bit of this world, a bit of self-regulation, a bit of mind work. And it probably would help me a bit if I did a bit of that food focus and that trick sort of work with dogs at different times. But I'm too lazy for that, so I just do that. And that's me just accepting. And look, that Ho's a Kelpie dog I had. He did a couple of TV ads and different things. And I said, this is how I'll do it. We'll get the ad that way. And we just put sheep there as bait, and we did the runs and the jumps and everything they wanted to have.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a food-driven ad. It was a raw article ad. Like, this is what he is, this is what he'll do, and we need these to drive. And then you had the other bloke who did the photos. His dog was all agility trained, Kelpie dog, and he could make it sit on that spot there, or stand there on 2 feet, or roll over and play dead, or do all those tricks. But that was his world. Mine's the work world. And that's all. No different. It's just the article you work with, or where you want to be. That's all good. So I hope you got a bit out of it today. A few tricks and a few tools. And if anyone want leads, come and see us. Collars up there. And that sort of stuff. Whatever else you want, DVDs on the websites. Give us a call if you got any problems or anything you want to know. That's all fine. That's great.